This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The much-anticipated budget communication was delivered in the House of Assembly today. Touted as a pivotal budget, the document outlined the current state of the economy and future prospects.
Presenting the budget today, the Minister of Finance, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Perry Christie, expressed his government's commitment to restoring healthier public finances.
In the face of a high deficit, which now stands at $520 million, where almost $1 in $4 collected in revenue goes to paying debt, Minister of Finance, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie, says the government will not retreat from its fiscal responsibility in its efforts to turn the economy around.
The economy has clearly, in our view, turned the corner, and we can anticipate steady, ongoing growth and employment creation in the period ahead.
The Prime Minister's optimism is born in the facts. Facts supported by the Central Bank of the Bahamas in its analysis of the global economy. Reports indicate that the gross domestic product continues on a stable but modest course, with the economy having grown by 1.8% in real terms last year. In addition to the National Retail Price Index rising by 2.4% in October, unemployment, he highlights, also fell off from 16% to 14%. While the tourism and construction sectors continue to steer the economy, Prime Minister Christie pledged his government's commitment to continuing on this course.
In this way, we are positioning my government to have the resources with which to implement over the full course of our mandate initiatives that will strengthen law and order, promote stronger growth and job creation, and solidify our firm commitment to maintaining and reforming our social safety net for the effective delivery of relief to the disadvantaged and to the needy in our midst. The near-term implementation of the vital portions of our agenda, such as job creation, attacking crime, and strengthening the social safety net, will come about through a reprioritization of how public sector resources are spent, while we maintain a strong focus on medium-term fiscal consolidation.
Prime Minister Christie announced several budget allocations. In tackling crime, $2 million will be provided to the police force for new vehicles, complemented with another $8 million for added manpower. The Defense Force will get $5 million to improve their goal of protecting our borders. I'm Carla Palmer for ZNS Network News.
Revenue collection, the modernization of laws, housing, health, and national training headline the Prime Minister's budget presentation today. The presentation also highlighted BC's exemption from excise tax on fuel imports, which will mean relief from high electricity costs. Our Cyan Thompson has more.
The health of the country is high on the government's agenda. Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie remains committed to establishing a national health insurance scheme during this term.
We are also committed to the construction of many hospitals across the nation. Currently, 2 such hospitals are on the drawing board in South Eleuthera and Cat Island, and construction is slated to begin in 2013-2014.
The Christie administration plans to move ahead with the construction of new homes in this fiscal year. Additionally, he said some $10 million will be allocated for an urban renewal small home repair program. Meantime, a new agricultural and marine resources school under the umbrella of the College of the Bahamas will be established. Potential initiatives from the school will put a dent of 15% on food imports. In partnership with tourism, $1 million will be spent on a major week-long national cultural festival to begin in 2015.
This government will invest just over $4 million next year to establish the new School of Agriculture and Marine Sciences in North Angeles, to be built on the site of the old agricultural research facility. The institute will include a tutorial commercial farm and is projected to be fully self-sustaining within 5 years.
The new National Training Agency will come into full operation. Its purpose is to equip Bahamians with practical skills to meet current and future demands of the workplace. A new project is also set for local institutions.
We are allocating $1 million toward the installation of greenhouses for gardening purposes at the prison, schools, and special education facilities, the William A. Pratt and Simpson Penn Centers, seniors, and their children's homes throughout our country, as well as in urban renewal communities as a means of providing employment and a source of marketable produce.
The budget debate begins Wednesday, June 5th. Government ministers are scheduled to outline budget allocations for their ministries and projects currently underway. For the ZNS Network News, I'm Cyan Thompson.
Now, following the budget communication in the House, both the government and opposition held press conferences.
Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance, Honorable Michael HALKITIS, told the media the new budget plan will get the country back to business with boots on the ground.
The dispassionate will see that the revenue enhancement measures will not crimp the economy, but will provide a more equitable tax burden. We must address the issue of fiscal responsibility and thus the revenue enhancement measures. However, we are most careful not to increase the tax burden on the disadvantaged Bahamians. We are especially concerned about getting work for our people, especially our young people. Thus, you see in this budget extensive provisions for the National Training Agency and its programs. You also see that there are substantial provisions for the building of schools and for the work of education generally in the country.
Opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis suggested that the budget does not address the challenging issues facing the country.
Problems we're facing today is crime and unemployment. They've said nothing about that. They've said nothing about that. We need to build, and the FNM is all about building an opportunity-based society. That's what we're all about. And that's what I want to hear about. I want to hear opportunities for the Bahamian. I want to hear opportunities for my grandson. I want to hear opportunities for my kids, so that everybody is placed on a level playing field, so that they have an opportunity to become just as what I am today. They have an opportunity to be like you. They have an opportunity to be Prime Minister. They have an opportunity for everyone. That's what I want. Level the playing field.
Police have arrested a wanted man in connection with a murder which took place last week. Herbert Jermaine Miller was taken in last night. Police say they found Miller in the Blue Hill Road area just before 10 o'clock. He was wanted for questioning in connection with the murder of Dejuan Glinton, who was gunned down as he stood in front of a home on Cordo Avenue.
Well, coming up, the Long Island Regatta gets a Sandy sponsor. We'll explain coming up.
And later in Family Island news, the government could soon announce a casino operator for Grand Bahama. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm LaDawn Davis. Several announcements made during the 2013-2014 budget communication delivered by Minister of Finance, Prime Minister Perry Christie, in the House of Assembly this morning. Prime Minister Christie revealed that prospects for the Bahamian economy for 2013 and 2014 remain unchanged from the projections presented in both last year's budget communication and the mid-year budget statement. He stated that the International Monetary Fund continues to forecast that our economy will expand by 2.7% in real terms this year, followed by 2.5% next year. The Jacksonville, Florida Aviation Authority announced Tuesday that Silver Airways will make its first flight from Jacksonville to Marsh Harbor, Apico on June 15th. Silver Airways, based in Fort Lauderdale, says its 19-seat and 34-seat planes makes 190 daily scheduled flights operating in Florida, the Bahamas, Georgia, and 7 other states. And in international business, United States house prices in March were up 10.9% rather, from a year earlier, the biggest rise in nearly 7 years. A Standard & Poor's index also said all 20 U.S. cities measured posted annual gains for the 3rd straight month. Meanwhile, separate data showed United States consumer confidence in May rose to its highest level in more than 5 years. And that's your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm LaDawn Davis.